seeing this live. I just had a little bit of a complication a moment ago, but it looks like it's all on. I see the cameras on and I see some live kind of in the corner there. So that's all good. Great. So we'll just wait for a few minutes while folks are arriving. It's wonderful to be here with you again. And I'm in a new setting today, as you can see. So I just thought I'd mix it up a little bit. And I hope that the volume is okay and that you can see and hear me with relative ease today. So we'll just sit together quietly for a few minutes and see who arises. See, one person's joined us, 2 people. Actually, we have a special guest here in our home studio today. And again, we'll be starting in just a few minutes. Just make sure you have any props that you might need, blankets, any cushions, if you need any tissue for your nose. We've been using home props, and some of those home props can look like soup cans or telephone books if you have an old telephone book laying around somewhere. A thick one, like a Vancouver size one. Maybe pots to use to place your hands on. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get to our. For those of you, hi Nancy, hi Drew. So there's 2 people watching, and Buddha's here too. He's actually participating. So I want to let you know that on the Yoga by the Sea feed, there is a link to a Zoom Yoga Nidra that's being led globally. There are 40 different Yoga Nidra practitioners that are going to be offering the same Yoga Nidra with the same intention, led kind of the top of the umbrella is Kamini Desai, and 40 of the facilitators around the world, myself included, will be leading this Yoga Nidra at 11:30 Pacific Standard Time, and the Zoom link is on this Facebook feed so that you can actually click in. So after we practice, you have a little break, and then you can come back and click into the Zoom, and that'll take you to the Zoom Yoga Nidra experience. And it'll be about a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. Okay, great. So I'm going to move to my mat. Looks like Roxanne is here. Jai Bhagwan, Roxanne. Give me a heads up if you guys can hear me okay. Couple thumbs up. Great. Okay, so I'm going to back away from the video. So the intention this morning is about steadiness. And steadiness on the mat creates a steadiness in the mind. Okay, so an evenness. So steadiness in the body creates a steadiness in the mind or an evenness of mind, and then that actually helps to kind of accentuate an experience of peace and contentment in the heart. So that's what we're going to be bringing our attention to this morning. So we're just going to have a very kind of steady practice this morning. And I just simply encourage you to move slowly with intention and notice where you feel steady, where you feel a little out of sorts, and just make those subtle adjustments that will help you be more balanced and harmonized. So one more thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn the volume up, make sure it's all the way up. Okay. All right. So I invite you to close your eyes. And we've been working with heart mudra. So the left palm is up on the left knee. The index finger and the thumb are touching. The other three fingers are extended. And then bring your right hand kind of resting in front of the center of the chest and allow the index finger and the thumb to come to touch while the other three fingers are extended. Rest back in your seat. Eyes are still closed. And even here in this mudra, notice if there is a sense of steadiness. A balance between the two hands. And then notice in your own seat, where is that steady position for you? Sensing and feeling it on the sits bones or the legs, the spine. Feel that natural extension out through the crown of the head. Again, just simply notice the steady quality of sitting. Just this, nothing else. Not trying to make anything happen, just simply being where you are, being how you are in this moment. Notice the breath. Does it feel contracted? Do you notice an expansive quality to it? Is it barely there? What do you notice about the breath? Without changing its depth or its rhythm, just simply watching. Now consciously, we'll continue with a counting breath like this. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just continue now on your own, following that rhythm. Your attention on the breath and the counting. And notice if 4 is the number that you stop at, or maybe you go to 5. Notice what your natural rhythm, inhalation and exhalation, is and how that works. And allow the counting to be a steady focus that draws you deeper into the experience of breathing. Notice how there's a perfect polarity between the breath and the counting. Keeping your attention inward. If it feels natural to let the counting go, allow the counting to drop away and simply keep your attention on the breath. And just one more minute. And notice how simply bringing your attention to breath, there's an evenness of mind that arises out of the steadiness of and the rhythm of your breath. And notice how that you can change your mental, emotional, contemplative state by shifting the breath, even by simply bringing attention to the breath. And notice from that evenness of mind, how there is a softness, there's maybe a sense of peace or contentment in the heart. Simply for breathing, just about 7 minutes. And now let's join our voices together in this energetic Sangha, wherever you are in the waking state, with the sound of Om. Let's take a deep breath in. As you're ready, you can bring the hands together and open the gaze. But see if you can remain connected to that place of steadiness and evenness that you just cultivated through the pranayama of the counted breath. And then rest your hands on your knees and just round the back body a little bit, kind of bringing the chin towards the chest. You can lean back a little bit if you'd like. And then on your next inhalation, extending the sternum forward, draw the shoulders back. Extending out through the crown of the head. And then exhale again, rounding the back body. It's like a seated cat and cow. Rocking back and forth, feeling the natural rhythm of your breath be the guide. Exhaling as you lean back, inhaling as you move forward. And if you want to, the next time that you move forward, you can even stick out the tongue and stretch out the mouth, kind of in a lion's pose. And giving your face and your throat and all the muscles around the neck a good stretch. And then as you move back, maybe even interlacing the fingers and bringing the arms up towards the chest and extending them out, chin towards the chest. And maybe even just a little bit of a twist side to side. And the next time you come forward again, extending the sternum, shoulders back, go ahead and stretch out the tongue, open the mouth as far as you can. Good, and back from lion and rounding the back again, shoulders and arms at the same height. Rocking it gently side to side. And then go ahead and extend the arms up all the way to the ceiling. Pressing down through the seat, extending out through the tops of the hands. And we're going to part the hands and turn towards the left side. Arms are extended. And then inhale, bring the hands back to center. And exhale them to the right. Inhale up. And exhale. And back and forth. Allowing the body and the breath to move together in perfect harmony. One more time towards the right side. Arms all the way back to center, palms through the center of the chest. and then down towards the mat. We're transitioning just by being in stillness, noticing the release of sensations in the body. Again, anchor in the steadiness of breath. And then begin to find your way towards table. And as you find your way towards table, the hands and the knees directly below the shoulders and the hips. Be sure to kneel on a blanket if you need some extra support for the knees. And we'll begin to move through cat and again cow, rounding the back body, empty the lungs fully. Inhale, extending out through the sternum, out through the crown, rounding back and forth. Know that as we move through cat and upward cat or cow, we're really nourishing the spinal column and bringing synovial fluid into each vertebrae. And this is very important for a healthy spine, for a healthy nervous system. And a healthy nervous system actually cultivates steadiness in the body and steadiness, evenness of mind. And of course, it's like flooding the entire system with peace and contentment. Coming back into center, neutral table, we're just going to look over the right shoulder to the right hip. And then on your inhalation, sweeping around, left shoulder moving towards the left hip. Empty the lungs fully. And then finding your way, the rhythm of your own breath, inhaling through center, exhaling to the right. Shoulder and hip moving towards one another. Inhaling through center again, exhaling, left shoulder, left hip, in C curve. Empty the lungs fully. And then one more time on each side before you find your way back to that neutral table position. From this neutral table position, we're going to extend the right leg straight back. Okay? And I'll just turn so it's a little easier to see. Stretching the right leg directly back, right hip, heel is no higher than the hip, and we're going to extend the left arm, so opposite sides. And again, we're looking for this steadiness as you extend out. That balance point. Notice if there's a steadiness in the breath. And then we're going to bend the right leg and extend the left arm back. Lifting the right foot and extending through the right, or extending through the sternum. Beautiful. We're going to bring the hand back, bring the knee back. Complementary movement. Maybe rounding the spine, emptying the lungs fully. And then finding your way back into that neutral table position. This time extending the left leg. Again, the heel is no higher than the hip. Toes are pointing towards the floor. If it's available and you're balanced, you can extend the right arm alongside the ear. Again, you're looking for steadiness. If you don't feel steady, back up a little bit until you can feel steady in this position. And remember that breath can change our physical, mental, emotional, contemplative state. So if you're ever in doubt, simply bring attention to your breath. We'll bend the left leg, foot towards the ceiling. If you can reach the right hand back, grabbing onto your right foot, the top of your right foot, the top of your left foot, and extending forward through the sternum. And then as you're ready, releasing again, allowing the body to naturally complementary balance itself. Maybe moving through a little bit of cat and cow, or possibly even into child's pose. Maybe even into downward facing dog. And then we are going to find ourselves towards downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, press back through the heels, extending out through the hips as you press into the palms, folding at the hip creases. So here in downward facing dog, just kind of give your head a little nod, releasing the neck. Press into opposite heels, extending through the opposite leg, and kind of paddling the feet one towards the floor at a time. Notice how the hips begin to open as well, maybe shifting a little to the right and the left. And it's not like you're trying to change anything or make your body more flexible. It's simply attuning to and opening with attention and steadiness. So eventually just coming to a steady position here in downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide, extending out through the sits bones. The crown of the head extending towards the floor, nice steady position. We're going to lift the right leg towards the ceiling in an extended leg downward dog. So just lifting that right leg. You want the hips to be level. Take a moment, roll out that right ankle. Go ahead and turn the right leg, keeping it straight. So now it's perpendicular to the left. If it's available, bring the right heel behind the left buttock. Shifting, bringing the right foot down. Take a pause if you need to. We'll meet back in downward dog. Preparing for the other side. Lifting the left leg. Rolling out the left ankle. Left leg can rotate, keeping it straight. Toes turned away perpendicularly. As you feel that opening, maybe bend at the left knee, bring the left heel back to the right buttock. We'll bring the left leg down. Again, resting in downward facing dog. Again, if you need a pause, by all means, shift your position. You can always meet us back here. So I'm going to line up my large toes so they're resting next to each other, and then I'm simply going to lift the right leg up and look towards my hands. Bring the right leg down, look towards the toes. Left leg, look towards the hands, and bring it down. Nice long strides, and I'm exhaling as I look to my hands. The next time I lift my right leg, I'm going to step it to the top of the mat. I'm going to bring my left knee down to the floor. I'm going to draw my hips forward into a crescent moon lunge. My hands will come up onto my right thigh if that's available for you. You can stay here. This would be a place where you'd use your blocks or your cans or your pots right here if you wanted to have your hands on something, or here. Or you can extend the arms up overhead. Pressing down through that right foot. Stay there. I'm just going to turn so you can see my body positioning a little bit better. Okay? My toes, my right foot, are pressing into the floor, and my hips are slightly forward, but my knee and my ankle are directly over top of each other. Bring the hands down. We're going to open the right hip. Hands are on the inside of the right foot, and I'm opening up the right hip. And I'm simply going to encourage you to scan the field of sensation in the body. Notice where that strongest sensation is. Take your complete undivided attention there like an arrow to a target. And just begin to move a little bit in towards that strong sensation, a little away from it. You're just moving about an eighth of an inch or so. Exploring the front edge of that sensation, the back edge of that sensation. You might notice an opening, and if the body opens, you might notice a shift in the right leg, maybe. You might find yourself coming onto your forearms. There might be a slight rotation. You might even find yourself backing out and lifting the toes towards the ceiling. We're going to bring ourselves back into a lunge. This time we're going to tuck the toes under and press back through the heels. So now we're in a full lunge. I'll just turn again so you can see. Pressing through that right heel, pressing through the left heel, lifting the left shin. And we're going to walk the left hand in towards the right foot. Bring the right hand onto the back, moving towards a twist. Okay? You can extend the right arm towards the ceiling if that's within your range of motion, or just simply keep it on your back. Staying there, allowing that natural extension to occur through the spine and out through the crown of the head. And then slowly bringing the hand back to the floor, and go ahead and walk the left foot in a little bit. See if you can begin to straighten the right leg. Moving into a straight-legged runner stretch here. Bringing the belly towards the thigh. And then we're going to step the right foot back towards downward facing dog. Again, we're going to start lifting the legs up in that extended leg downward dog variation. Toes are lined up. We'll lift the left leg, look towards the hands, exhale. Bring the left foot down, lift the right. Next time you lift your left leg up, we're going to send it to the top of the mat, stepping it forward. Pressing back through that right heel. Moving first into runner's lunge. And then bring that right knee to the floor. Okay, bringing that right knee to the floor. Moving towards crescent moon. Hands can be on either side of the left foot. You can use your props here, or bring your hands towards the left thigh. I'm used to mirroring what I say to what I do. So I'll say one thing and do the opposite. So it's amazing how trained my brain is on that, even though that's not what's happening here. So we're pressing through the hips, and again, you can bring the hands up if it feels natural. Nice steady position. Interlace the fingers if it feels natural. And as you're here, remember that you're monitoring, witnessing your own steadiness. If you're not steady, back up until you can feel more steady. Your breath is a barometer. And then we'll bring the hands down through center, both hands to the inside of the left foot. I'm going to open up the left hip. Some of you know this as a lizard. And just as we explored on the left side, the right side, we're going to explore this on the left side. So scanning the entire field of sensation in this position, notice where the strongest sensation is, and like an arrow to a target, take complete undivided attention there. Begin to move a little to the right of that sensation and a little to the left of that sensation. And notice how the body opens in its own time. And as you feel the body opening, through the steadiness, noticing the evenness of mind, sense of peace and contentment flooding the system. Allow yourself to move into any improvisations or variations. Maybe the forearms come down onto the floor. Again, maybe there's a slight rotation that occurs naturally without forcing, of course. It's just part of that steadiness that you're cultivating this morning. You may find yourself kind of walking into a completely different movement, maybe sitting back on the heels with the toes extended. You may even find your way into a full runner's lunge or a child's pose. And again, you can always catch up with us at any moment. So we will all meet in runner's lunge. The left foot towards the top edge of the mat, the right foot back. Lift the right heel if you're finding your way back there. Pressing back, the right shin. Again, you can use props here to help the sternum remain extended. And then we'll bring the right hand close in towards the left foot. The left hand can go in the back as we move towards that rotation. The left hand can be the anchor. If you feel steady, you can extend the left arm up. Okay. Remember, as you do that, steadiness is where you're keeping your attention. And then as you feel complete and ready to come out, we're going to walk the right foot in towards the left a little bit. Straight-legged runner stretch. Hips are still level. Breath is steady. There is an evenness here. And then we'll step the feet to the top of the mat this time. So you end up in a hanging forward bend. You can hold onto the elbows. Allow the head to hang in the frame of the arms. Giving the head a little shake. Releasing any tension in the neck. And allowing yourself to just soften through the backs of the legs. Softening. And then begin to roll up your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Feeling each vertebrae stacking one on top of the other. Allowing the arms to breathe all the way up. Go ahead and interlace them. Pressing the hips forward and extend out through the fingertips. Creating a little bit of a back bend so that you're pressing with the feet, extending through the sternum. There's a natural curve in the neck. You're not dropping your head back. Then coming back into center, we'll press the left foot down, press the hip to the left, extend the torso to the right. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon here. Just like we did with C curve, the little contraction in the right side of the body. And then pressing down through both feet, slowly coming through center again. Pressing down through the right foot, hip to the left, right. Extend the torso to the left. And then pressing through both feet back through center. And go ahead and breathe the arms down slowly, slowly, steady, even, relaxed, breathing. So you find the arms coming to the sides, eyes closed. Again, just finding yourself in a steady position. Gradually noticing not only the steadiness in your body, but the evenness of mind. Noticing for yourself that the second half of the pose of peace and contentment kind of flooding the system. And then gradually opening your eyes, and let's step the feet about a hip width apart. We're going to inhale the hands to shoulders and extend the arms around behind the back. We're going to interlace the fingers and draw the shoulder blades together. Just in a yoga mudra, we're not going to fold forward. We're just opening the shoulders here. If you wish, if it's quite relaxed for you, you can lift the arms a little bit off the back body, but don't struggle or strain to get there. This is simply just opening up the shoulders. Maybe you feel like moving the head a little bit side to side. And then slowly release the arms. And the feet are still a hip width apart, and so we're going to inhale the hands to shoulders, and we're going to sit back in an imaginary chair. Okay? So it's almost like you're holding a 4-inch block between your knees, and you're sitting back in an imaginary chair. The tailbone drops down, the abdomen is drawn in, and the sternum is extending forward. Shoulders are relaxed. You're focusing your gaze on one point, That's not going to move. And see if you can bring a little smile to your face. It takes less effort to smile than it does to grimace. Notice the steadiness in this position. Notice the steadiness of your breath. Good, and pressing down through the feet. Inhale slowly up. We're going to circle the arms all the way around. And then back, a little bit of a back bend, extending forward through sternum. And then bringing the hands back down through center. We're going to step the feet wide. So if you have your mat in T position like I do, you know, it's easy, but if you're not, you need to turn to the side, okay? We're going to start with the right side first, but before we do, let's just make sure that we have a nice extended body. So extend, the feet are at least 2.5 to 3 feet apart. You're going to extend the arms out in T position as well. And you're looking for kind of that equidistant between the ankles and the wrists. Okay. And just make sure that the hands and the shoulders are not higher, like the hands are not higher than the shoulders. Beautiful. Now we're going to pivot on the right heel. Okay. And we're going to turn the left heel away just a touch, about a 30-degree angle. We're going to bend the right knee. Right knee is coming over the right ankle. We're moving into Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2. And we're taking the gaze over the right hand. Now this is a familiar warrior series that we have done again and again and again. You're simply keeping your gaze over the right hand and extending out through the fingertips as you press down through the feet. Extending through the crown. Again, notice the steadiness here. And then we'll bring the left arm down. We're going to turn the palm of the right hand up and lift the right hand towards the ceiling. This is exalted warrior or peaceful warrior. And you're continuing to press through the feet and extend through the fingertips. Taking the gaze towards the ceiling if it's available. Steady breath. And then slowly we're alternating, we're shifting again. The arms are coming back to shoulder level. We're going to kind of lunge towards that right hip, bring the right forearm towards the right thigh. Warrior angle, and then the left arm is going to come up alongside the left ear, either straight to the ceiling or along the ear. You're pressing to that left heel. You want the whole left side straight. You can open the left hip, left rib cage and shoulder, even turn the gaze to the ceiling if it feels natural. Beautiful. Now press into the feet. Inhale, lift yourself back into Warrior 2. That's it. You got it. We're going to bring the left foot a little closer, just a touch, and then we're going to straighten the right leg. Moving towards Trikonasana. So the hip is going to go to the left and the fingertips towards the right. And now I'm turning the palms. And then I'm going to rotate the arms. The right hand comes to the inside of the right leg, the left arm directly towards the ceiling. If it's available, take your gaze towards the ceiling. If not, forward is perfect. Again, you want that nice straight line on the left side of the body. Steady position. Creates evenness of mind. When we have evenness of mind, there's a sense of peace and contentment in the heart. Beautiful. We're going to press up, press down through the feet, extend up through the fingertips, and we're going to come back into five-pointed star. Exhale the arms down, close the eyes, and just simply be in the release for now, sensing and feeling the breath. Still in a steady position, even though that position has changed its form. Now bring your attention upwards to the spot between the eyebrows. And notice that natural tenderness that occurs as you merge here into oneness. Gradually opening the gaze. Extend the arms out to the side again. We're going to pivot on the left foot this time. So first finding that positioning for how far apart do my feet need to be based on the length of my arms. Okay. And then I'm going to pivot on the left foot. Turn the right toes in just a touch. I'm going to bend the left knee directly over left ankle. Okay. My left thigh is approaching parallel. And then I'm going to turn the gaze, if it's available, look over the left fingertips. And you just kind of want to check. I've got the video here, so I can see that my hands and my shoulders are at the same height. But if you're uncertain, you can bring the hands to the chest, line them up with the chest, and then extend them out. Again, the steady position. Notice the evenness in the breath, in the mind. Peace and contentment wash through you. We're going to bring the right hand down, scoop the left palm up, moving into exalted warrior. Left arm is extending, going slow. I know slow is hard. That's why we do slow. This is a time for slowing everything down, simplifying, being more introverted, getting to know ourselves more deeply. And that can be very uncomfortable. That can be uncomfortable. We have a lot of maybe unevenness in mind around how we are or how we want to be. And so that's why I'm bringing attention to just being steady in the body. Steadiness in the body this morning. Notice the steadiness in the breath. Remember, you can change your breath. That changes your physical, mental, emotional, contemplative state. Which then, of course, brings evenness as we begin to transition to warrior angle. Left forearm moving towards the left thigh, right arm extending up towards the ceiling. Opening through the right hip, the right rib cage, the right shoulder, and if it's available, bringing the right arm alongside the ear. Sink the hips. And then when there's evenness of mind, there's a sense of peace and contentment in the heart. It's really that simple. Beautiful. Pressing through the feet. Inhale, lift up, nice and slow again. That helps to cultivate that evenness and steadiness. And then we're going to straighten the left leg. You may want to toe heel your right foot in a little bit as you prepare for Trikonasana. Engaging that left quadricep. Hips are going to go to the right, the fingertips to the left. Okay, you're moving to that place where you feel the body naturally stops, and then you're going to rotate the palms, and then you're going to rotate the arms. That's it. Again, steadiness here. If you need to back up, back up. Find that place where you can be steady to cultivate that evenness of mind. Peace and contentment in the heart. Beautiful. Press with the feet. Inhale out of Trikonasana. Back into five-pointed star. This time we're going to bring the hands to the hips. And folding over the hip creases, we'll begin to fold into a wide legged stretch. The hands can slide down the legs to the feet or ankles. Bend the elbows away from the center line of the body. Let the head hang. Give it a little shake if that's okay. Just a little nod. And here you are free to kind of play around a little bit. Maybe you feel like you're drawn to bring the hands into the center, but the feet still wide apart. Maybe you find yourself bending one knee, walking the hands over to that side. Maybe you're bringing one hand into the center and moving into a twist. When there is steadiness and evenness, we're more open to hear those innate promptings in the body and in life that show us the way to go. When we're not steady, when we're contracted, and we don't feel that sense of peace and contentment, we can't possibly see the clear path because we're not clear. We're mucky. We're muddy. So yoga and meditation, contemplation are important aspects to clear the tube so we can be more clear and even. As you feel ready, you may find your way back to a standing position or possibly to the floor in a complementary position. Listening to the innate wisdom of your body as it guides you to balance and harmony. As you're ready, finding yourself into a comfortable seated position with the legs extended. If it's helpful, sit on a folded blanket, maybe just kind of walk your hips back. Pressing down through the seat, extending through the crown. And we're going to inhale the hands to shoulders. And then exhale them all the way up overhead. Again, we're pressing through the seat, extending through the fingertips. Okay. Shoulders are away from the ears. And then we're going to begin to fold forward at the hip crease. And you're closely paying attention to when you feel that natural stop point in the body, that point of resistance. That's a hint. That hint is telling you if you go past that stop point, you move away from steadiness. In yoga speak, we call it the edge. Okay? So when you find that stop point, just kind of stop there, and then see if you can breathe, see if you can relax, see if you can simply be steady here. Giving your attention to breath. Allow the arms to find their way towards the legs or thighs. Continue to press to the seat, extend through the crown. Notice as there's steadiness and evenness of mind, there is often space. We relax, we become more centered, more at peace, more content. And with that space, you might find that that resistance or that edge or threshold moves a little bit, and you can move with it until, again, you find that stop point. And then just simply rest there. Relax the chin towards the chest. Relax the body even more. Feeling the breath as that barometer, that measure for steadiness. The breath is like the bridge between the body and the mind. If the breath is not steady, if the breath is labored, then there's contraction in the body and there's contraction in the mind. So that's why if you want to change your physical, mental, emotional, contemplative state, you put your attention on breath. Pressing down through the seat, extending through the fingertips, we're going to lift ourselves up slowly again, just so attentive and slow. Notice how as you find your way upright, there's a natural complementary movement that's calling you to the innate intelligence of the energy body. Just simply follow that without question, implicitly. Even if you're drawn into stillness. As you're ready, begin to find your way into some spinal rocking so that you can find your way towards a position on your back. If spinal rocking from head to foot is not in your practice, you can find your way onto your back. And then bring the knees into the chest and rock from right to left. So either head to toe, or from right to left. Once you feel complete in your rocking, you can walk the feet in towards the hips. Arms are alongside the body as we prepare to Setu Bandhasana Bridge. We're pressing into the feet. We're going to lift the hips towards the ceiling. We'll take the arms underneath, moving the arms underneath the body, interlace the fingers, and press to the right foot. Roll the right shoulder underneath. Press to the left foot, roll the left shoulder underneath. Hands are now in Yoga Mudra. Lifting the pelvis, extending through the navel, sternum, and chest towards the chin. Pressing down lightly with the back of the skull. Again, you're coming here to a steady position. Breathing into that steady position. And notice the evenness of mind that arises with that one pointed focus. Feel the peace and contentment wash over you, almost like you could be held here for an indefinite period of time. Moving from time-bound consciousness to a timeless state of being. As you feel ready, allow yourself to find your way out. Listening again to your body's natural, innate promptings to move this way or that way, or simply to be in stillness. If there's anything left over, give yourself a moment or two, about a minute or two, to move into fish or shoulder stand if that's within your practice. Maybe a twist, or simply preparing yourself for Shavasana. Once you find whatever movement that you are engaged in begins to come to a natural sense of completion, begin to find your way to corpse position on your back for Shavasana. Mini Yoga Nidra, resting on your back. And remember, we're offering a Zoom, the global, I Am Global meditation at 11:30. The Zoom link is here on the Yoga by the Sea Facebook page. That'll start at 11:30. So don't go too far after we finish. So once you find yourself in a comfortable resting position, supported and warm, arms resting to the side, let the weight of your body sink and melt and drop into the floor. Sensing and feeling yourself let go. Let go of all doing as you shift from thinking and doing to feeling and being. Steadiness in the body brings evenness of the mind. Evenness of the mind allows peace and contentment to wash through us and over us. Only love purifies the body and the mind. Love is the all-seeing divine eye and the wish-fulfilling touchstone. Every living being is a stream of love. Let us allow someone to taste our love, and let us taste someone else's love. But first, we must taste our own peace and contentment. Love flowing into the life of another is the source of our happiness. And love flowing into our own life is the source of another's happiness. This is a universal law. Love is the only medicine. And it starts here in the heart. Here in the mind, here in the breath, here in the body. Begin to allow yourself to rise in the surface of awareness. Begin to sense fingers and toes, arms and legs as you feel the energy body. Resting in the steady presence, begin to roll over onto the right side. Resting here in the womb of existence. Gradually, begin to find your way upright. Come to a comfortable seat. Allow the left hand to rest in Gyan Mudra, thumb and index together. The right hand also in Gyan Mudra, but draw it towards the center of the chest. Steadiness in the body. steadiness in the breath. Remember, the breath is the bridge between body and mind. Evenness of mind. Allows peace and contentment to wash through us, so we can see the clear path. Simply allows us to be. Let's complete our time together this morning in this gathering of friends in the waking state with one sound of Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Shanti. Healing and peace, steady, even peace and contentment. And Jai Bhagwan, thank you so much for joining me this morning, bringing me into your homes, into your heart. I hope you'll join us for the I Am Global Meditation. It starts at 11:30 via the Zoom link on this page. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. We'll see you soon. One.